complex legal matters for 30 years.
Contact.
Figured it out, guys. Sorry about that. Now we're back.
Hey.
Little chaotic there. I don't know what the deal was with our internet issues, but we figured it out.
Now your captains, Mike Anderson and Dylan Hubbard.
Welcome back. 7:24 here at the iHeart Media Empire. 7 looks just like a 6.
He re-roofed that one. Not letting that go, even though everybody disagrees with me.
I'm just gonna move on, Derek. Watch this. I'm growing up. I'm maturing in my radio time here.
I'm glad I could help you.
Let's go to the phones. Let's go to Alan in St. Pete. Alan, how are you this morning?
Good morning, guys. Doing good.
Good, buddy. What's up? What you doing?
Working.
Yeah. All right. Attaboy.
You know,
Good.
I'm batching it this weekend. Me and my son are home alone, and we sent the women folk up to Wisconsin to visit family for Christmas. So we'll pay back for the hunting trip earlier last month. So
Alan's smart. He stayed home where it's warm.
Yeah, I was thinking the same thing. Alan's like, it's warm.
Yeah.
I'll stay
Trust
here.
me,
You guys go.
Opening day up there was 7 degrees. And
Beautiful.
We public land hunt with no blinds, no heaters, nothing.
Ooh.
So not for the.
That sounds archaic.
Faint of heart.
That's crazy.
Yeah, and we shot 3 deer on public land about a mile and a half in. So yeah, that's my PT for the year.
Yeah, you're good.
Nice.
You're good. Work
good.
out for the month. No doubt.
Yeah.
Ooh.
Hey, I had a quick question. I got a problem I keep re-encountering like that.
I see what you did there.
It's like a re-roof.
Yeah, you see what I did there? Yeah. So my terminal ends, especially for my Simrad, are constantly coming loose, and I've tried recrimping them and I keep them clean and everything. But is there any trick to keeping those things from loosening up? Because it always seems to drop when I'm in like 4 inches of water, and I really need to know how deep I am.
What I don't know the answer to that. So what I would do, because you're a Pinellas County guy, I would swing by Pro Marine Performance Center and talk to Kyle in the back.
Man.
Kyle is a witch, super smart cat. If you happen to be over in Tampa, Brett Stafford at Mahoney's, Simrad guy as well, super smart. But I would go by Pro Marine and talk to Kyle about that issue. I'm sure there's some trick they know. They do a lot of sea hunt business over there and they push a lot of Simrads, a lot of Simrad stuff. So they're probably going to be your best location to get that answered fairly quickly.
I appreciate it. Yeah, it's frustrating when you're running, you hit even a little bit of chop, and the next thing you know, everything drops dead on you, and you're like, whoa.
Yeah.
And then you got to climb underneath there under the console, and my big butt don't fit in there really good anyway. And
your leads are falling off Are they falling off at the back of the machine, off the switch, or off the battery?
No, off the terminal block. They just seem to loosen up, and I've tried crimping them with little pliers, making them a little tighter, and it just seems to keep happening. And I don't know if I imagine you can't use super glue. You don't want to break that electrical connection. I thought about just drilling a hole through and bolting them onto the terminal.
Yeah.
But that's a little extreme, and that's, like I said, that's tight quarters. I just wondered if there was some sort of trick that
I'm sure there
everybody
is.
else but me knew about.
Yeah, I'm sure there is. And if anybody knows what it is, and it'll be right, it's going to be Kyle and them over there, closest to you anyway. They're in Pinellas County. They're on Bay Pines.
Yeah.
Yeah, right across the street from where I am now.
There you go. Stop in. I'm sure.
There you go.
Dressed in the outfit you're in right now, I'm sure they will help you out immediately.
Unfortunately, the boat's 20 miles away.
Well, but you can just talk to Kyle. He'll tell you. They'll walk you through it. They're open this morning.
It's sad. My dealership went under. They didn't really go under. It's just Ranger somehow, for some reason, doesn't want to make saltwater boats anymore.
Really?
And, my dealership, I bought my boat from the guys at Norris. You're familiar with it.
Yeah. Yeah.
Tailwater Outfitters. Yeah,
Dick Norris.
The tackle shop's all that's left, and which is a good thing. It's a good tackle shop, but yeah, the Ranger wouldn't work with them. He said, we're just not in the fiberglass business anymore. We're just getting out of the fiberglass. And he says, hey, I'm surrounded by salt water on three sides. I can't sell aluminum boats. So they wouldn't work with him. He said, well, I guess I'm out of the boat business.
Wow.
Huh.
Well.
Yeah, that the wholesale to Bass Pro I don't think was good for Ranger, but
Yeah, never.
I'm glad I got an old one.
It usually isn't. It usually isn't. Alan, thank you for what you do for a living, my friend, keeping everybody safe out there. We appreciate you, your brothers and sisters in service there that take care of us. We greatly appreciate it. You, your family, have a great Christmas, my friend.
I appreciate it, my brother. Thank you. Same to you and yours.
All right, buddy.
Thanks,
Good.
Alan.
Thanks for the call, buddy. Good stuff there. We got William in Crystal River, who's going to be up here on the other side. Hopefully we'll hear from you as well. We got one more big segment to wrap this thing up here this morning. So your questions, comments, fishing reports, don't be shy. Bring them here. 1-800-969-9352. We'll be back.
Is Alan FWC or police?
Please. Popo.
Sheriff.
He the Popo. Yeah, I think he's Pinellas County Sheriff's Department, I think. Yeah.
I just
Great
didn't
guy.
understand what he was saying, because if it's crimped, it should be on an eye bolt or an eye washer thing, and then it's bolted onto the terminal.
That's
So if
why
the wire's coming off that eye, maybe it's
coming out the crimp.
yeah. I don't understand what he's saying. Kyle will figure it out.
Kyle will figure it out. As a matter of fact,
I think they open at 8 though. I don't want to correct you, but I'm pretty sure they open at 8.
if he's over there in the area.
Yeah, I've sat there at the door before and waited for him.
Yeah.
That's why I know it's 8.
Yeah, I think it is 8.
Because I was using my father-in-law's boat and flushing out his Yamaha outboard 300, and they have that little washer inside the flusher. Because when we get motors, we don't mess with that. We take that out and we install the hose so that way the flusher's up at the rail, so it's easy peasy to flush out the outboards, and you don't have to mess with that or bend over and get down into the engine well because it's too hard on the big boats, So I'm not used to messing with that little tiny hose that comes out of the side of the motor, and I didn't realize that washer was in there, so I went to flush it and the hose is already on. I just stuck it in there and it blew the washer out. It's like, oh, there it goes. So I called him up and went and got another one from Kyle. But yeah, it was a little too early. He answered the phone, but he was like, "We don't
Just a
open till
regular
8."
size washer.
Yeah, but it wasn't my boat. It wasn't my engine. I would have just gotten a hose washer because it is a hose washer. That's all it is. But OEM, you got to have OEM parts for warranty issues. So I wasn't, my father-in-law's boat that I was borrowing, gonna put a aftermarket hose thing, because he would have noticed immediately. This wasn't the right color washer that was in here.
I get you.
Yeah.
Yeah, I'll be making some changes for 2023 with my equipment.
Going to Simrad, right?
I don't know anything.
You don't know anything?
Not quite yet. Not for another 2 weeks. But maybe.
Maybe. Might have heard from a friend. Still learning how all this works.
Under contract till the end of the year.
I have a chip, a Strike Lines chip in my backpack for a certain manufacturer that you may or may not be using next year. So remind me after the show, I'll dig it out for you.
Yeah?
Yeah. I didn't know Strike Lines charts. I don't want to talk about this on the Facebook feed, but you got me, Tristan. One of our captains bought a tablet from them, and it's a tablet that's preloaded with GPS and preloaded with charts. So you can go on any boat with this tablet, and it shows you where you are at, and it shows you the Strike Lines charts. So you could walk onto any boat with this tablet and have all the information from your. Basically, it's like having your plotter screen in your hand, and the tablet was only a couple $100.
Really?
Yeah, but then once you load it with all the charts and stuff, it ended up being like $1,500. But still, pretty bad to the bone.
Yeah.
So now when he runs the boat, he's got a tablet, his computer with the wind plot system, and then all the screens up on the dash. It's like, that's pretty cool.
Wow.
Yeah. So now I want to reach out to them and probably get one for each of the boats. That'd be pretty bad to the bone. Those things are so cool. I sat there. I told you after ICAST, I sat there with Gunter and went over all the inshore spots. It's crazy. I mean, the Tampa Bay map is insane.
Is that what you?
I've never bought it, no, but I've seen it, and I spent a lot of time at ICAST looking at it.
The Strike Line one?
Yeah, you have to get it once you have that new system on your boat because it integrates perfectly with that, and you have to get it.
Florida Marine Tracks, I heard, was good too. But
Seymour Maps, Florida Marine Tracks, Strike Lines, Garmin Relief Shading, it's all the same stuff. But Strike Lines, I don't know. Garmin Relief Shading is really awesome. I really like it a lot. And I've heard it's very similar, but the Strike Lines map of Tampa Bay was insane. I haven't really looked at the Garmin Relief Shading for Tampa Bay as closely.
So what do you have?
In there, Strike Lines, that chip.
In Tampa?
Yeah, Tampa Bay map. He gave it to me. I'll give it to you.
It's Christmas.
Yeah.
I still feel like Christmas. Great.
Yeah.
I'm excited.
But then,
I'm super
then
excited.
you should buy the Egmont Key map too, because you can get other maps to load up onto your machine.
Oh.
So like, I think Tampa Bay goes through the Skyway, might go out to Egmont, but like, dude, the near shore stuff, like, it's like for mangrove snapper fishing on those rock piles, total game changer. It's idiot proof. It's crazy.
Really? Mm-hmm. I need that.
It's like I said
said it before you
like
did.
like Tristan's been after us, and I would almost rather pay full price and not tell anybody I have it instead of getting it given to me or even them
And have
paying
them
us the
promote
yeah, because I think. I mean, God bless you. You have a great business, Tristan, and Strike Lines is awesome. But I think it's going to be the death of our fishery. That technology, you know, just like Rodan, GPS trolling motors. Yeah. It's like it's really cool. I'd buy one, put it in my boat, but I don't know if I'd want to go out. Everybody get a GPS trolling motor and Strike Lines charts because
I mean the power pole one.
Yeah, that's what I meant.
The
power pole one is way better.
Not that one that stays broke all the time.
Whatever, the GPS trolling motor. Whatever brand it is. And the radar systems, for goodness sakes, that overlay all of the marks on your plotter, and you're just able to click a mark and save their location when you're cruising by at 50 miles an hour.
We'll screw it up.
It's a wonder there's any fish left.
Leave it to humans to screw it all up.
Yeah.
Again, last big segment of the show here. We are back up on the live stream. Dylan the Wizard in here fixed it all up finally.
All I did was wait for the internet to come back. that was my
Don't
big aha.
downplay yourself. Trying to lift you up, brother.
Yeah, well, I re-roofed it. So sharks. What's your deal with the sharks?
Dude, let me tell you. I'm talking with some of the guys this week. I was in the woods for most of this week, which I enjoyed greatly. But in trying to get caught up on what's going on, a couple of the guys I talked to, Ryan Rickard in particular, was telling me that he got on the boat with a couple of friends and they went and did some hogfish fishing, and it was phenomenal. He was it was stupid. He said they probably caught 50 or 60 of them. Said it was incredible. Mm-hmm. But the sharks were so bad.
Yeah.
He said that, they probably got, whacked 20 times by bull sharks. Whoa. And to me, that gets old. And we obviously have a problem with bull sharks if there's that many of them on, and Ryan said they fish multiple spots and we're catching hogfish at all the spots and the sharks were terrible everywhere they went.
Wow.
That's not good.
That's not good at all.
No, that's a problem. And I was going to ask you, because you and William, hang tight there for a second. We're going to get to William there, Chris River, but you do such a great job in all this marine fishery stuff. I've said it forever. No, but is there any discussions? Where's the discussions on the sharks?
Bro, we don't have enough time left in the show to go into sharks. That's why I was shaking my head at you.
Okay.
The problem with sharks is it's outside of the control it's outside of the jurisdiction of FWC, of the Gulf Council, and ultimately NOAA fisheries.
Why?
It's under HMS, or highly migratory species. It's a different segment of NOAA, and it's really just this glass ball.
So the FWC doesn't
it's-
monitor them so we can shoot them?
The FWC has shark management, but ultimately it's driven by HMS. Just like look at anything that happens in federal waters, FWC generally matches federal regulations. Most of the time they stay kind of congruent. And shark management is ultimately dictated by HMS, or highly migratory species, out of NOAA. It's a different division than the Gulf Council. So the Gulf Council doesn't have anything to do with sharks. And you could go to the Gulf Council meetings and scream all you want about sharks, and everybody is. If you go to a Gulf Council meeting and listen to public comment, I would say 40% of people mention there's a huge shark problem in the Gulf. If you go to an FWC meeting, a lot of people mention the shark problem in the
So
Gulf.
who do you have to get to get
The
them?
problem is HMS is, again, this glass ball, and it has a lot to do with shark science and the lack of science and just how the process works. Because under MSA, again, we don't have enough time in the show, so it's really hard for me to kind of spit this all out. But under MSA, under federal law, you have to rebuild. You're mandated to rebuild overfished fisheries. So a lot of these shark species, like ridgebacks, like hammerheads, I'm blanking on a few of them, but they're deemed overfished. So they have these really strict rebuilding programs. So just for some quick comparisons, the longer it takes for a fish to grow to size, and the older the fish gets, the rebuilding plans get a lot more complicated. So like red snapper, for example, becomes sexually mature really quickly, and they grow really fast in comparison to sharks. So when the red snapper were overfished and we were instituting a rebuilding plan, it was like 14 years. Gag grouper, we're talking about a rebuilding plan of about 10 to 12 years. Shark rebuilding plan, the ridgeback shark rebuilding plan, is 688 years. 688 years. And we're only about a few years into it, and they're everywhere, and we can't get away from them. And it's becoming a bigger and bigger issue. And it really, to me, comes down to Shark Week. I mean, if you watch Shark Week nowadays, it's literally a week long of propaganda about how fishermen are killing the oceans, and there's not enough sharks, and protect the sharks. And if you post a photo of a dead shark that you harvested legally, you get death threats.
Oh, I would
My
like that.
company stopped
that would be
killing
great.
sharks
That'd be
because of the issues. It's a cultural thing. I forget, Captain Travis Thompson had this awesome term, and I'm blanking on it, but it's these cute, cuddly, big creatures like the Florida black bear. They've been trying for years to open up a season on Florida black bear, and you can't, because all these people come out up in arms. You can't kill a bear. It's so cute and cuddly. Don't hurt the bears. And it's the same thing with sharks. It's the same thing with Goliath grouper.
If we just put a black bear, in their backyard and let that black bear eat their dog, then we'd be good.
Carrying capacity, folks. Carrying capacity. There's only so many mouths that the environment, the estuary, can sustain. So you want to save all the sharks, Goliath groupers, manatees, you're not going to have other species. They push out other species. Manatees eat a ton of seagrass.
Yeah.
We're losing seagrass like crazy already due to water quality. So you keep letting the manatees eat them all. Pelicans. There's more pelicans today than there ever has been in our entire lifetime.
I was going to say, too, when the lady has issues with, how are we supposed to get our hands on the pelicans?
Yeah.
Just do what I do. Just reel. They come right in. Let's go to the phones. Let's go to William in Crystal River. William, how are you?
Hey, Captain, the roof was so dilapidated it needed to be re-roofed.
That's right. Very well.
Awesome.
Very well done.
Remind everybody out there that has a loved one that likes to fish, a fisher person, a fisherwoman, a fisherman, call 1-866-GAME-FISH or Hubbard's Marine, and they'll hook you up with a gift certificate that will be remembered for a lifetime.
Amen.
And the knowledge they would gain by you buying them that fishing trip will go down in history as probably one of their best gifts. Happy New Year. Merry Christmas, guys. Thanks for being there. Remember, next time you hear these words, I hope you're saying them. Fish on.
Amen.
Really, we appreciate you, brother. You are the man. Great call, as always. Been historically one of the great callers in Real Animals Radio history.
He always brings the heat, too. He always makes me laugh.
Oh, it's always a good
every
call.
time.
Always, he's been like that.
And he keeps you on your toes, too.
And he has been.
And what's crazy is the shark thing. We're getting back on the shark thing. We're not letting that go. What did your text just say? You can't get it out.
It's going to be hard.
Is it radio friendly?
I love my wife.
Oh, yeah.
She said that comment is why we can't have nice things.
About re-roof?
I'm probably about reeling in the Pelicans.
Oh.
I'm assuming that's where she was. I was banking on the fact that she wasn't listening, but apparently I was wrong.
She always keeps you in your lane.
She does. She is the best.
Good.
Yeah.
Behind every successful man, there's a better woman.
No doubt.
Keeping us in our lane.
Amen to that.
Yeah.
No doubt about it.
But sharks, huge problem. And the HMS people are a huge problem too. I mean, they literally sat there at a golf council meeting. So we've been complaining about sharks since I started going to council meetings in 2017. People have been crying about sharks and the shark issue. And it's really bad down in the Keys, and it's even worse up in the northern Gulf around the oil rigs.
Sure.
We don't have it that bad in comparison. Go to the East Coast. Try to drop down a bait to the bottom and get a fish back up. You can't. 1 in 3 fish you hook on the East Coast or in the Keys certain times a year is going to be eaten.
And you would think so. You would think all the fish lovers would be up in arms, and they would be helping to fight our cause.
Man, I wish Captain Travis Thompson was awake. I'm going to call him on break. I need the term. There's some term that he uses, but it's basically a fish doesn't get the same fundraising for groups like PETA. Like if you're a PETA of the world, trying to raise money for a fish is a lot harder than look at this beautiful shark. There's not enough sharks in the world, and there's plenty of footage of these Chinese vessels killing a bunch of sharks and cutting their fins off. And that raises money for the little old lady in Idaho. She's like, I can't believe that's happening.
Well,
and they raise money with black bears, with these cute, cuddly, big creatures that are apex predators. And you can't have an apex predator out of balance. If there's too many apex predators, guess what? Your whole food chain, the whole food web is affected. And that's the problem. And we're making it too top heavy and that's a problem with MSA in general is we're mandated to rebuild an overfished stock, but to what level? And some of the managers, the scientists who are involved in that's one of their big questions is, do we rebuild it to a virgin fishery where no fishing effort occurred? Because if you do that, that's going to throw other species out of whack.
Right.
There's only so many feeder fish in the Gulf. There's only so much plankton. The estuary can only support so many fish. The pie can only be so big. And that goes into a lot of the other stuff we talk about is the number of fishermen on the water. Your pie is only so big. You can only cut the pieces so small.
That's fact.
So more people out there on the water, the pieces get smaller, seasons get shorter. It's inevitable.
Yeah.
So let's not make the pie any smaller. Our slices are already small enough, guys.
Dylan and I are big guys. We don't want small pie. Let's go to Richard on the South Shore. Richard, how are you, my friend?
Good morning. Good morning. Dylan, I heard someone refer to you the other day on maybe it was a TV program as Dr. Dylan. Do you have a doctorate?
I think they must have been confused. No, nowhere even close. I did go to college, but actually don't even have a bachelor's degree, to be honest. I got an associate's of arts, so.
I was just curious about it, and I thought, well, maybe he does. He seems to be a pretty smart fella.
I appreciate it.
Well, let me see. I started a list here, a Christmas list for you guys of things that you don't like. Let's see, there's sharks, there's birds, porpoises. I didn't hear them today.
They were on the list.
We were getting to them.
Good choice. They were next.
Manatees. Of course, I'm a little disappointed in that. I am pretty sure the manatees are not eating us out of seagrass, and I'm pretty sure you're aware of that. But this is the second time I've heard you say that.
Well,
I've got one more thing I'd like to add to that list is fishing guides. We
there you go.
Ate up with them.
Yeah, that's a fact.
There's an infestation going on.
That's a fact, Richard.
Yeah,
you are correct.
Now, I have another list that is the conditions, but we won't go into that. That would be like red tide, cold weather, warm weather, this, that, and the other.
Amen.
But you guys got a lot of gripes about fishing.
You are 100% correct, Richard. That's very funny. Listen, I want to wish you and your family a very Merry Christmas, brother. We appreciate all the the content, all the input that you give us throughout the year. Every time I look over here to my right and I see Richard in the South Shore on my call screen, I'm very happy because I know it's going to be an interesting call. So you had a great deal of awesome stuff to the show, and we appreciate you, my brother, very much. I hope you have a very, very fishy Christmas, and you and your family enjoy the time together.
Yeah, I figured you looked over at that screen and winced whenever you saw it.
No. Actually,
you guys have a good one too. The best of both of you.
I appreciate you, Richard. Great call, brother. We are so very blessed. We really are, and have been for many, many years, to have so many great Real Animals listeners and friends. We certainly appreciate all of you. It's great stuff. So. Good stuff for sure. We're going to wrap things up here. We got our little short segment here on the other side, and we'll put this train wreck to bed.
There's too many manatees. I just want to reaffirm that.
There's no doubt.
We spent $27 million as a state to feed the manatees this year because there's not enough seagrass to support them. $27 million on manatees.
Jackwagons.
Too many of them.
Jackwagons. We'll be back. Here's a list of them.
Here's a list of all the things that you said today that you don't like. We didn't even get all the way through the list. We were getting to the Dolphins. But yeah, I think that's a big conversation that hasn't happened. It's carrying capacity. Because that's true of anything. There's only so much food out there. There's only so much seagrass, and we're losing more and more seagrass. So we're going to have to keep spending millions of dollars each year to feed manatees because we don't have enough food in the environment to support them. Is that a water quality issue, or is that overcapacity? Or is it both? A little bit of both. I mean, I think the conversation needs to happen instead of just pumping money at a problem and not fixing the solution. And that's my point, is I'm being facetious a little bit in saying, oh, there's too many manatees, but the conversation has never even occurred on what's the carrying capacity. Are we overcapitalized on the number of manatees? Do we not have enough seagrass because we have a lot of manatees? Or do we not have enough seagrass because no one's really given a crap about water quality? Or is it both? That conversation's never happened, and that's a problem, is we need to evaluate all these species, sharks, a lot of different species, even red snapper, even anything. When you're trying to manage a species, how can you manage a species without knowing carrying capacity, without knowing how it affects other species as you rebound a population, and a population is exponentially growing bigger and bigger? How is it affecting other species? So it's a big question that we don't have answers to. And just the food web in general. I mean, it's very fragile. It's just like Mike and hunting deers. If all of a sudden they closed wolves and coyotes and all these predators in the woods, and all of a sudden their populations went crazy, you think Mike would be eating ground venison all year? No.
We'd be eating wolves.
Carrying capacity. It's nuts, man. Oh, we got Carrot Cake coming to the Regulars Club and Supporters Club Christmas party today. I'm so excited.
Donald Wayburn texted me and said, manatees, they taste like chicken.
They do.
That comment is why we can't have nice things.
I love that.
She chimed in immediately, like, oh boy, here he goes.
Yeah. You've been hanging out with Mahoney too long. That's why you can't have nice things.
Might be some truth to that.
Captains Mike Anderson and Dylan Hubbard.
Before we get too far into this last segment here, I want to make sure again that we put a shout out to our men and women service members both here and abroad who a lot of them unfortunately will not be home for the holidays. And it's something we take for granted all too often. Freedom certainly isn't free. So we do appreciate you. Those service members that are traveling for the holidays back to see their families, Godspeed to you. Hopefully you travel safely and well. We really certainly appreciate all you do for us. I want to put a big shout out to the people behind the scenes here too. Derek DeBose, Pat Donovan. We're just really blessed to have great production here at iHeart. Chris Sektig has done a great job. Jeff Liss in the sales department keeping things rolling for us. So again, the great people here at iHeart, you guys mean a great deal to us. We appreciate you letting the real animals be part of the family. It's been a great year with you. We've had some laughs. iCast was a blast. I was thinking about iCast.
This was
already.
our first full year.
I know it, and it was a good year. We enjoyed it. So we've had some laughs. You've been a great addition to the show. It's been great having you. So it's all good stuff.
Yeah, it's been fun, man.
Yeah.
It's been a great run, and I've learned a lot, and definitely looking forward to a better 2023.
Me too. I've learned a lot too. I've learned to be calmer in some situations.
Yeah, it's not as easy to stir you up as it once was.
I'm trying to get better. I am. I'm trying to let some of your political correctness rub off on me. It's not easy.
We'll keep trying.
Yeah, it's not easy.
It's a slow game.
I'm not overly proud of that, actually.
You'll get there. You'll get there.
It is happening.
Indoctrination is on.
Yeah, we're super blessed, to have the listeners out there that keep iHeart wanting to let this horrible show be on the radio. So we appreciate that very much. That's a good thing. All the callers, Jim Fogel and Ron,
and just a great year of good topics and cool segments. So definitely been very, very grateful for all of you guys out there contributing on the live stream, calling in, and just listening.
Makes us
putting
laugh
up with us.
Yeah, it makes us laugh, makes it interesting. It's good stuff for sure. Hoping that we can get past this bad water that we've got here and roll into 2023 in pretty good shape and have a great, great year on the water. I've got some new boats coming and some new toys coming. Contender 32 should be here February, March. The new 25 Bay should be here February, March.
32.
Got a 32 ST coming.
Wow.
With a buddy. I got a buddy of mine, my buddy Jordan Strawn and I doing a boat together.
So you have a 32 and you'll have your 25?
Yes. I will not be guiding out of the 32. I will not be doing any offshore guiding. I would just Jordan was going to get one, and we just decided to team up on it because I wanted to have my hands on one to film out of, and
that's cool.
Beautiful.
So that's going to be a center console, it's a big bay boat
32 ST. No, it's not a bay boat. It's the 32 offshore.
Oh wow.
Yeah, the 32 step
branching
twin 300s. Yeah, I want to be able to get out a little bit. If you talk to some guys, 32 is not enough.
Yeah, let's partner up on the 44, man. Let's go
we
deep.
Need 700,000 a piece to partner up on that boat. That's when I think rolled out.
People, don't you?
$1.4 million. I do, but I'm not sure that my pro staff discount will carry over to the 44 ST. Even if it did, we'd still be talking about $500,000 a piece, I'm sure. So. Although that would probably make Contender very happy if one of their pro staffers was in a 44 ST.
And we could get some Yamaha 425s on the back. It'd be bad to the bone.
Jordan and I have talked about running the 32 ST for a year and then upgrading, so we may.
Nice.
Yeah, I don't have a lot of big boat experience, if I'm being honest. I've got a lot of time on big boats, but behind the wheel, I don't. So the 32 is a step up into that big boat world. And
dude, with Yamaha, their new controls, it makes it so easy.
Yeah,
I watched someone come into the dock yesterday with that new Yamaha Helmmaster.
Oh, the Helmmaster's crazy.
It's stupid.
Yeah.
It's stupid. You could just walk your boat sideways now.
I know it. It's very impressive what Helmmaster's capable of. But, again, a big thank you to all of our sponsors here, especially Bartow Ford. Great people out there. Benny Jr. and his team, we really appreciate you guys making all of this possible for us. So remember to get by Gator Gyms and do some shopping. Gift certificates, stuff like that are great. If you're looking to book a trip, give them charter captains a call and get some gift certificates and hand out some of that stuff.
Amen to that. And don't forget, if you're too busy to go fishing, you're just too darn busy. Hopefully we'll see you for our Sunday night live stream show tomorrow night, 8:30 p.m. on the Hubbard's Marina and Real Animals Facebook page. We're giving away lots of free trips, talking fishing, and answering your questions live.
Yeah, it's good stuff, good stuff. Tight lines, everybody. Merry Christmas to all of you and your families. Happy New Year, all that good stuff. Derek DeBose, again, great job as always, brother. We appreciate you, my friend. Tight lines, have a great time. We're out.
The preceding program was paid for by Real Animals Fishing.
That was wild, that was wildly confusing.
Yeah. Wasn't that early, too? Yeah.
A minute.
I was confused anyway when the music came on.
Yeah, I was too. Like, ah! Woo! Well, are we streaming?
We're still streaming. I guess I shouldn't pull my mic away.
Mine looks a little paused.
No, it says streaming. It says live. We're live.
Well, that's good. Live
Yeah.
is good.
Big O said, awesome sharing my Saturdays with you. Hope you have a Merry Christmas. Larry said, enjoy your day. Great show every Saturday. Mike and Sarah said, guns are out early today.
Mike and Sarah.
It's very off.
Strickland,
Very,
Mike
yeah,
Strickland.
Mike Strickland.
Yeah.
Very off-putting. I agree, Mike. Chef Bill, what's up, man? Steve Lucas, Jim Demmel. Jim Demmel, the jackwagon of the week, he was upset he missed it. It was the Friends of Pelicans group again, and Manatee County drivers, Florida drivers in the rain,
With their
and
flashers
also
on. Stop driving with your flashers on.
sharks. So don't drive with your flashers on. Don't be a shark.
I didn't even put that out in the air, but I wanted to.
Yeah.
I was in that bad rain that came through the other day, driving from Georgia. Every other car that passed me or was on the road had their flashers.
You know that's actually against the law
Yeah.
in the state of Florida.
It should be against the law.
Yeah.
They're hazards. You're not a hazard. You're driving.
You're a hazard because you're a shitty driver.
Yeah.
That's what the hazard is. So they have their hazard lights on, so you know they're a shitty driver.
It's just unbelievable.
It's really ridiculous.
It's
And then people driving too fast in the rain, too. Flip side of that. Especially on the interstate. Like, I like cruising, but it starts raining, I slow down a little bit. Mostly just because I know people are going to be driving like an idiot, and you have to lock up your brakes and you slide around.
It was so bad. It was hard to see. The rain, the wind, it was horrible. And I'm in a big old heavy diesel. It's hard to move my vehicle. It doesn't slide around a lot on wet roads. I've slowed way down, paying attention. People driving by me in these little bitty lightweight cars doing 85 miles an hour. And then we'd get up 2 miles up the road and be like, oh, wow, you're in the ditch. There's a shocker, you moron. I'd like to stop and help you, but you deserve to sit in your car and think about what you did. Dipshit. Sorry, was that too far?
This is why we can't have nice things.
That's right. Oh, my wife gave you a line now. Oh, drives me nuts.
Well, hopefully you enjoy the show tomorrow. Mahoney and Big Ben. And I heard the Watts brothers are coming?
I saw that too, but I don't know if they're going to try and cram 4 in the studio or not.
Maybe.
Yeah.
And then also tomorrow night, live stream show. And then we'll see you guys after the first of the year. So thanks for being a listener, being a fan, and for tuning in. And hopefully you enjoy it. And I guess that's all I got.
That's it.
Take advantage of the midweek kind of Thursday-ish bite. Thursday, Friday particularly, I think, are going to be best this week. Wednesday, Thursday. Friday is the blow. We've got the new moon Friday as well. So Wednesday, Thursday, midweek this week, going to be your best opportunity out there on the water.
Merry Christmas. Happy New Year, everybody. We appreciate you guys.
See ya.
Bye-bye now.